Hi, I'm Sophie Snyder, and this is my language learning log number 1. So, for my language learning log, I want to listen to the song Despacito in Spanish and understand most of it, so maybe 75% of the lyrics. Because this is such a famous song and it was produced by a native Spanish speaker, this is why I chose it. I think it has a lot of basic wording that can be really easy to understand if it's not your first language, and it's also a really fun song, which makes learning Spanish more fun. So my first SMART goal is to be able to translate at least 75% of the words to English and write the lyrics in English down as evidence by Sunday, May 14th at 11:59 p.m. I chose this goal because I know that even songs with pretty basic wording can be confusing, and you can't always expect to understand 100% of it, so I chose about 75% or 80%. My second SMART goal is to record any foreign words that I don't understand that in the lyrics and look up their translation to English using SpanishDictionary.com by Sunday, May 14th at 11:59 p.m. I chose this because I think finding the words that you're unfamiliar with and then researching them can really help ingrain its definition, and I feel like you'll remember the words that you're unfamiliar with better when you research it and write it down. So a direct strategy I can do to achieve both of these goals is to put on subtitles on the music video so I can become familiar with the words that I don't understand and write those down for later. And another strategy is another direct one is not using Google Translate and using Spanish Dictionary to look up any words that I don't understand and write them down in my language learning log and find the definitions. And this can be from the lyrics or the music video. And I don't want to use Google Translate because it's a little bit inaccurate, so Spanish Dictionary should be a good one to use. In class this week, we talked about task-based strategies to learn languages, such as finding and applying patterns, using graphic organizers and taking notes, summarizing, and using selective attention. And so I think my strategy of writing down these words that I'm unfamiliar with would apply to a task-based strategy of using graphic organizers and taking notes, and also summarizing the main idea of the song. In class, we talked about how prolonged and consistent exposure to your L2 is like one of the best ways to learn languages, and avoiding failure or like laziness like that is a really good way to keep yourself accountable. Dr. Renuka Devi in 2014 in the Journal of International Education and Information Studies said, as Flower, Dew, and Miller in 1996 assumed that the problems of students were for the speed of delivery, new terminology and concept, difficulty in focusing, and the physical environment. The main reasons why the learners feel listening difficulty is, number 1, lack of effort to understand each and every word while listening. Especially in L2 acquisition, they are unable to transfer their L1 skill easily to a second language. 2, failure or laziness to build up their vocabulary gradually, and this greatly affects in their listening and keeps them low-spirited in acquiring the language skills. So this quote explains how crucial it is to research difficult phrases and be really diligent and consistent about finding new words that you're unfamiliar with in your L2. So this kind of reinforces that my methods of finding unfamiliar words and researching them is helpful, and also being consistent with this and doing this later. So one of my weaknesses is that it's pretty hard for me to be inspired to learn a new language consistently over a long period of time. If I'm not in a Spanish-speaking place, there's not a lot of inspiration for me, so that's kind of a challenge. But a strength I do have is I have a pretty good work ethic, so if I am inspired and I'm really passionate about learning it, I'll do it really passionately and really diligently. So this is my language learning log. And these are 12 different words that I found in the lyrics of the song that I didn't understand, and so I'll just read a few of them. So Murata is my first word, which means look. Armando means to assemble. Ninguén means none, and ritmo means rhythm. So I was able to identify all these words that I previously didn't understand and then find their definitions. And so now I'm able to kind of understand the song better. I think this was super beneficial to me because I remember what I research well, and this can help me fill kind of any gaps in my Spanish knowledge because these are really basic and common phrases. I now know 12 more words, so it was really helpful for me. It was really effective for me to search these words that I was not comfortable with because I really drilled their definitions and became more knowledgeable about what the song was trying to convey. I was able to figure out more about the song and also learn Spanish in the process. And it was fun because it was a song. And so I didn't have to adjust my learning strategies at all. Learning these words made watching the video with subtitles more understandable because I had just learned most of the phrases. And I found my strategies pretty effective, so I didn't find that I had to adjust anything at all. And my goals and strategies were pretty much aligned. I was able to figure out all these words, so it was really good. Something that was easier for me was being able to drill the definitions really well and just memorize these definitions. But something that was challenging for me was to kind of like piece together the words and understand the meaning of the song. So I was able to overcome this challenge by reading the lyrics again and trying to figure out if there may be double definitions where a word might have meant something different than what I had recorded, and that made me able to understand the song better. I probably wouldn't change anything other than I may pick a longer song or longer video next time because there was a lot of phrases that were repeated and it didn't offer a lot of new words because they just repeated the same words again. So next time I would pick a longer video. Thank you.